show. I was just checking some stats that we'll get to in a second.
I've got receipts.
Oh, you got receipts.
I got
it's gonna be a good post show today. Let's start with the review of Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Because we got a chance to see it in advance. It's great. No spoilers.
Oh.
And a bunch of our KYGO listeners went to an advanced screening with us last night. Super, super fun.
I'll try not to spoil anything.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of, like sometimes you don't really know what a spoiler is, but we know the first movie so well.
Yeah.
There's no big spoilers.
There's not like a murderer that,
Yeah.
But
so fun.
I thought
So
my
fun.
favorite part of the movie, I'm glad you asked, is Catherine O'Hara. I thought she did a great job. Super hilarious. She made the movie for me. Obviously, Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice looked great. Did great. Had all of his, fun, quirky things that he said. The makeup made him not age a bit.
He was amazing.
He looked just like Beetlejuice of yesteryear.
Amazing. And he is such an American treasure.
The problem is, and when you go back to the original Beetlejuice, he's only in the first one for like 15 minutes total screen time.
Which is so weird.
When you think about it, I guess so. This one, just the same. I wanted more Michael Keaton.
More Beetlejuice.
And Catherine O'Hara killed it.
Yeah, she was awesome. Jenna Ortega is really fun in it. I mean, seeing Winona Ryder back is really, really great. I mean, this is just such a big sequel that we waited so long for. There's not going to be an overall everyone going amazing. Like everyone's going to have emotional opinions because we have an emotional attachment to the movie. Yep. And I mean, it was just a smile fest for like an hour and a half.
Going back to the Jenna Ortega thing, was it Winona Ryder that said this movie has taken so long to make because Jenna Ortega hadn't been born yet?
Isn't that cute?
It's so cute. Nice.
It's cute.
I wanted more Jenna Ortega. I was expecting, oh my gosh, she's going to be so pivotal in this movie. And she is the actress made for this part. I didn't really see it.
You know why?
And I love Jenna Ortega, you guys.
Yeah. And I think
she wasn't,
the reason.
She didn't do it for me.
The reason is because that plot line, her plot line was so good. It was the best part of the movie.
Yes.
And without giving away anything, there was like 2 or 3 plot lines that were happening sometimes. And that one should have been the only one.
Should have been the only one. More of it.
I think that's why.
Yes.
Yeah. So once people kind of get through it, I think, then we can maybe talk a little bit more freely.
And then all of the deaths. I'm kidding. No, there is one big death. Well, there's more than one big death.
Okay, settle.
Everybody dies.
Yes, it's Beetlejuice. Bring the kids.
Do you know who? No. Yeah, no, my kids loved it. My kids thought they're like better than the first one, Dad.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, this is the new Beetlejuice for them. So of course,
the guy who loved it more than anybody else was the guy sitting behind me and next to you.
Yeah. Dressed in a suit that didn't stop talking the entire time.
Or laughing. And I'll tell you,
entire time.
This movie, there's some funny moments, but every joke was laugh out loud funny to this guy.
Yeah. And he was doing like old unk laugh,
to everything.
Like that. Like the kind of guy that goes to see your kid's school play and like is like, and like taking up room.
Yes.
Like that guy. But I didn't tell you this. Took up both cup holders. So I didn't have one. Like he's that guy. But I mean, not rude other than the fact that he didn't shut up.
That's rude.
The entire movie. But he was talking about the movie. He wasn't talking to somebody. Like it'd be like Jenna Ortega's boyfriend. He's like, the boyfriend. Now here he comes. I'm like, someone come get their dad.
Twice I looked behind me. Like,
yeah,
bro, what are you doing? Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And then like the evolution of that in my world, because he was right next to me, was taking up the 2 drink holders. Immediately, I'm like, death upon you.
Yes.
And then I'm like, okay, you're going to see Beetlejuice. This is like so exciting, Tracy. And then he starts laughing at it. And I was like, okay, I'm so excited too. Like, I'm so excited. It's a fun energy. Everyone's saying Deo to start the show.
That lasted 5 minutes.
I went from this to this. And then my face didn't have an inside voice, it's called. Where like after like 7 or 8 minutes, I was like,
stop laughing. That wasn't that funny.
But By the end of the movie, I did give him a Jesus. Full on, looked right at him and gave him an audible Jesus.
Oh God. Yeah, go see it. It's good. I think
yes.
Without giving too much away, I will say people clapped at the end and you guys took off. Marvel has wrecked movies for me. I'm forced to sit through the end of all of the credits.
I was
credits.
Like,
I can't believe. But anyway, Beetlejuice ends and people started clapping.
I did.
Jed turns to me and he's like, she's a 10, but she claps at the end of movies.
She's a 10 and a half. She's that excited.
No!
Yes.
It's not like the actors are in the room. Who are you clapping for?
Life. It was that fun.
Oh God, I loved it.
I was
She's
so
a
happy.
10, but she claps at the end of movies.
Keeper. Total keeper. Lover of life. Okay, let's talk about before the movie. You do have receipts. I love this story. It was unplanned and it was not at the same time. And we had two very different experiences with the same thing. Beetlejuice, we walk in and there's like stuff everywhere. They are merching this movie big time. And I saw somebody, and I'm assuming that you saw the same thing, somebody carrying some Beetlejuice merch that you thought that would be fun. And I saw somebody carrying the book of the recently deceased that they have in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it was big. And you open it up and there's popcorn in the book. That's what I saw. Nothing else. I saw that and I thought, I need one of those.
I have to have that.
I have to have that. I'm about to exchange legal tender for goods. So I thought you had a similar experience.
My kids, we sit down inside the theater. We went to the dollar store to bring candy. That's who we are. That's who I am.
Yep.
I'm cheap like that. Okay, so we get in.
Yeah.
We get in, we sit down, 3 seats down. This guy has his popcorn bucket that is the snakes. Now, have you guys seen merch is coming out? The worm. Yes, I'm sorry, the worm.
Earthworm.
Yeah, and it looks really cool. Like the Deadpool, the popcorn buckets are all the rage, right? So this guy has the worm popcorn bucket. And Jed, he's like, oh, Dad, look, it's the popcorn bucket. Let's get it. And I was like, oh, that is pretty cool. Let's get up. Let's go get it.
In exchange, legal tender for goods.
For that.
That's worth it.
That's what we were headed towards the counter for. We get up there and we're like, hey, can we do the worm popcorn bucket? And I have his name right here. Abraham behind the counter says, oh, that guy brought it from home. We're not selling them until Friday.
First of all, they're a 10, but they brought their own popcorn bucket. That's a little suspect to me. That's true. We don't have it.
What? Sorry, we have this other stuff. And he's pointing and the kids are like, oh, Dad, that's awesome. It's exactly what Tracy just described.
Of the recently deceased.
And a big giant cup with Bob the Shrunken Head on top. You could pick a topper.
Yes.
Put anything you want in it. Icy, Diet Coke, whatever. And then the tin with the popcorn, which is probably the size of a medium popcorn. It wasn't even a large.
No.
A tin and a drink. Okay.
Now, when I went up, I did the same thing. I said, can I just have the popcorn, and he goes, it comes with the soda. And I was like, that's fantastic. And he showed me, he showed me the toppers. And I said, Diet Coke. And I turned to my party and I said, Diet Coke is great. Diet Coke. We'll do the Diet Coke. And the recently deceased book comes to the counter, filled to the brim with popcorn. And the Diet Coke is being poured. And he turns and I said, how much is this? And he said, $35. And I said, no. And I pushed it with one I returned it before swiping my card. I said, no. And walked away.
I'm so jealous.
I made the right choice.
Abraham told me it's going to be $35. And I audibly gasped. What? No.
I just want one, sir. That is one.
I just want one. I don't need 3.
I know you. You had a heart attack in your butt.
I did.
When he said it,
I did.
because your kids are there and you're
And
like, oh
right-
God, I
and
don't know
so-
what to do.
I had already told my kids we were going to get a popcorn bucket, a souvenir. It was already happening. So I couldn't tell them no at
Yes,
this
you
point.
can. I looked at AJ dead in the eyes. I said, no.
No, but they were so excited. We got up to go to the counter to get the other popcorn bucket. And they're like, oh, Dad, it's just as cool. And I'm like, no, it's not. But okay, I will do it. $37.72 with tax.
Plus tax.
And guess what? We didn't eat the popcorn and we drank the icy. And I'm pretty sure
my
both things
God.
are already in the closet.
And they're probably all washed out or still sticky.
$35.
I said no.
Do you know what? Do you know who owes me $35? The guy with the worm bucket. That guy owes me $35 because if my kids hadn't seen that, we wouldn't have gone up to the counter to buy it.
I don't agree with that anymore. I don't agree with that anymore.
No, he owes me.
No, that dude spent $35 on that dumb bucket already, right? So if I spent that bucket's coming with me everywhere. You better tell me right now, in 17 years when they remake The Notebook and people are crying, I'm eating popcorn out of a recently deceased handbook. I would do it.
Yes.
I would do it.
Well, somebody owes me $37.
No,
Yes.
No, you make your own choices.
No.
And Abraham
I was forced
Abraham
into it.
is laughing at you today. Abraham said, not today.
I even asked Abraham, I'm like, hey, is there a discount for like press? He said, no.
He said, do you
Full
know
price.
who I am? I'm
I
Fizz
did not do that.
from KYGO. I mean, he already knew you were wearing your sandwich board that said, do you listen to the show?
Right.
Bye, guys.
Receipts.